Everybody to the ESL Premiership powered by Intel and Gaming from Curry's PC World. We're going to be kicking off map number 2 and we're going to be moving across to Mirage instead. As we spoke in the pre-game, we said Mirage has been played by both of these teams quite a lot in the Premiership already. Once Wind and Rain did take the victory, I think it was like 16-5 or something.
Yeah, they played it twice, like 16-5, 16-6.
Oh.
So both games, arguably a lot of sample size by doing that, and both heavy defeats for Kings.
But it is KiNg's map choice. And they did win Inferno previously, which was Wind and Rain's map choice. So maybe this is a good chance for Kings to take the series, but we're going to need to see something very different from what we've seen all season. But I guess that previous map was something different, right? We weren't expecting them to come out of the blocks that quickly. I don't even think Wind and Rain were expecting Kings to play that well.
No, it was a very weird one. Like, they probably, they were quite slow to get into the game, like get comfortable and everything. But this pistol so far has been really... I imagine there was some kind of read that Shiki's seen. They normally do a pistol like something like this. And he's banked on fake here, which is very peculiar. So they must know that they don't really play to mid, it'll be just going short. But Link could easily get back here. Yep,
which he does, and now he's going to have support as well. And Fry does find one, Link gets the second, but Wisp thankfully gets the trade, finds two onto Fry. Now the rest of the squad can drop onto the site here, and we're going to try and see the retake from the rest of the boys coming through Kitchen.
It's a very quick retake from him.
But Shane takes down Astro. Decent 1-for-1, as Dancy's is now going to, I don't want to say dance onto the site, but he is going to move his way onto the site. Shiki gets it, and it's going to be a 1 versus 1 now. Dancy's has much more health.
Shiki doesn't have armor as well to keep up. Yeah, he goes for the body chance.
As soon as you have that knowledge. Yeah, nice work.
3 kills. He picked up the kit and he got the smoke. So, and he didn't get hit either, so that's good. 350 head armor next round. He should have a nice rifle. Yeah, there we go.
And I was going to say that was a little bit of body disrespect, but he missed every bullet. So, actually wasn't. It was just being nice.
Yeah, so one thing with Wind and Rain. So the last 5 games on HLTV with Mirage. So this is considering European opposition, pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
They've won 1 in the last 5. And that win was actually against Godsend of all the teams.
Oh, wow.
16-13 though. But you can consider, they stomped in the last 2 meetings on Mirage. And then they do relatively poorly against all the European opposition. Makes you wonder what kind of difference they're used to playing against. Essentially, like how good are they actually on Mirage?
Yeah, and sometimes that can change things as well when you're used to playing against a better team.
Yeah, you're used to a certain style. Like, the difference between European opposition and UK opposition is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you play a lot more defense against Europeans because you respect them a lot more. UK, you're like, I know this guy, I want to beat him.
Yeah.
So you kind of face into, you do stuff that you don't normally do, you're not practiced in.
You go for blood.
Yeah, essentially. So they converted that around pretty handily. I think they only lost 2 people, is it?
Yeah, and I think Wind and Rain will be looking to make a point probably on this map.
Quay with the scout's a bit interesting. He's not one of the players that I'd mentioned as previous AWPers, but
he's not an AWPer, he's just a scout apparently.
He kept it from the last round, I imagine.
Lumji gets a nice opener onto Dancy.
It's a very quick A split from Kings. Just completely go on the back. Astro needs to get these 2 kills to stand a chance.
Gets the first.
Maybe a third because they're wrapping on him from both sides.
He's got a good. He had a good peek onto Wisp
2
there.
people are low though.
Yeah, still a lot to do though for both Link and Fry, but
I think they know there's a guy around mid somewhere, which is why they're crunching this way. Fry should get the free kill. Oh, the timing. It was just as he moved in. So they're planning to save this round, which, it's not the worst decision in the world, obviously. 2v4, you don't really know the exact details of those players being low.
Exactly, yeah. Very different to the likes of, is it matchmaking? You can actually see the health,
yeah,
right?
You can see the damage done and everything, and with this you don't see it until potentially end of the round. I'm not actually sure if it's using the same way ESEA format, because I know it's the ESEA that they're playing on.
Yeah.
Normally that does it at the end of the round.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. But Kings managed to put one back on the board. A decent response to the opening 2 from Wind and Rain.
Yeah, a very quick round from them.
Yeah.
Well, like it was very 2 up mid, 2 through ballast, 1 guy ramp, and then they got the opening kills needed.
I think sometimes that's a nice way to surprise a better team as well.
That's what they're doing
fast.
Again, yeah. So Shiki's going to flash them all out of apps again. So very similar to the first map. Remember, there was a lot of apps favouring.
Yep.
So it's different map, but same kind of play.
Still going for the conga.
Yeah. Dancy's has a glass cannon AWP, and he's on stairs with it. So he needs to get at least 1 on the way out here.
Yeah, which he doesn't.
He does them all.
He does back
Great
off,
save
which
today,
was great to do it.
There we go. So that's changed the shape of this round entirely.
Shenny does get an opener onto Dancy's though. At least that's some sort of glimmer of hope in this round if she can find it. Yes, he can. Craig goes down. Shenny's down to just 12 HP though, so does have to back off. A few grenades to work with for him to try and help out Shiki, who's kind of stuck here on site. Bomb is down as well, but Shiki's managing to get hold of it, and he's going to back off. Probably think about a rotate round. I think just picking up the bomb in general was a good idea. It allows you to do something in the round, rather than just wait for the inevitable death of Wind and Rain finally pushing you.
Yeah, you're keeping Wind and Rain thinking in this situation, because after about 25 seconds, they'll be kind of concerned, like, could they have gone back? And then you assume they'll take it as a group, or they'll rotate off, as we're seeing right here. So Fry will go back. And I imagine Shani will throw his grenades around just to cause some sort of ruckus when Shiki's further in BAPs. Because at this rate, they're playing the 1v3, both of them. Because there's no clear 2v3 situation here. Because they're both low, I respect the idea. Because otherwise they might just get killed in the same little burst of fire.
Shani's worked his way onto site.
Got a lot of info here, but he's walking straight. And then Shiki has to run it. Which is... Fry was moving, but yeah, that's round over. Nowhere.
Yep, Link, unfortunately, well, Link doing well just to hold that angle. So if he had too heavily committed to B site, of course that would have been a bad thing, but it was a good hold.
It's quite fortunate for Dancy's, really. He missed that first shot, like right in between them, but Craig gets the 2 sprays, which gives him enough time to then re-peek at the same angle. But because of the winning the round before, they still have another buy going in. But it is very weak, though. 2 UMPs of CZ. Are we seeing A smokes? Or is this a different kind of...
So probably what? Smoke off stairs?
It should be regular A smokes, like, so CT, jungle, and stairs. However, I don't see anybody lining up the CT one, so it might be... Maybe Shani did it from triangle, yeah he did. So regular A smokes, not much equipment, don't see many flashes going over.
Craig's managed to push through, he's got a great position, and he does find Whisk as well. Unfortunately, he was just caught in sandwich there. Craig can't find the second.
Yeah, he's done more than enough, thankfully, with 2 kills. As a person, like, if I was playing A, and I know the enemy team are doing A smokes, I welcome that. I feel like it's a very generic thing. There's only a certain element of what people can do around it. And I kind of like that, you know, chaotic evil behind it. And it just feels like a very plain thing that you can easily counteract. Like Cray right then, he got smoked at CT, he got 1 kill before it, but he thought, right, I'm just going to push forward, you guys flash, I'll get another one, and then maybe I'll get a third. It's just a very easy thing to play against, in my mind.
It's because that's the...
It's the generic
That is the most
thing.
Default.
Yeah.
Like, even I know that setup.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's something somebody in matchmaking will say.
Yeah.
A smoke?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're like, okay.
That is your basic budget.
That's when you know your strat book is thin if you're having to resort to that, I feel.
Especially this early on as well.
Yeah, that was 5th round.
We're going to see the fast push down middle once again. Of course, it's just an eco round, and Astra is lapping up the kills, finds 3, should make that 4, should find an ace. Yes, he does.
So they only lose the armor and the AWP, I suppose, technically.
It's always good to get an ace as well. That's good on the stats book when it comes to finals, if you make finals. Usually that's one of the stats that pops up on the little screens they do.
Yeah. Nice little tidbit, just like
Yep.
one of X players with an ace this event, or possibly multiple.
Possibly.
The only player with multiple.
Yep.
I think at Katowice there was Nico had 3 the entire event, which is outrageous, frankly. But it's been a lot of a very quick start. 5-1, and I think we've only been in for, what, 9 minutes, which is averaging out a minute and a half per round. It's crazy.
But Kings need to be careful. They don't want this to just turn into an absolute slobber knocker, where Wind and Rain could just destroy them. Maybe 16-1 or something stupid.
You play a worrying trend when you try and play really fast and it's not working, because the other team are getting really hyped up, and it's recent hype as well. It's not like a lot drawn out and then you're shouting 1 round and then 3 minutes later you win the next. You're shouting again. It's very quickly successive. That nade was a banger.
An absolute banger. Like a club classic, that one was. That would get everyone on the dance floor.
Cascada classic though.
Link gets 2. It's just Shani. He doesn't even know where he's been shot from at this point. So he's just going to...
that flash. Dancy's hasn't heard him go across though.
But he's probably just going to walk into the path of Fry. Fry holds it, but Fry's going to actually move away.
This is all about timing.
So Shani's in a somewhat good position, I guess, but the fact that he's on 5 HP is going to make this round nigh impossible.
If he walked out connector, it's pretty crazy if he did, to be fair. Ooh, Fry's back is welcome. Free kill, but Nancy's to the right should get the kill straight away. when he jumps across the site.
Yep, nice and easy.
6-1.
And,
They look a lot more comfortable.
They do. It's almost like Mirage is more of their home than Inferno, as we kind of expected. I mean, this is what we were expecting in Inferno, really, was this kind of maybe fast-paced stuff from Kings to try and surprise Wind and Rain, but Wind and Rain just having the answers every single time.
Yeah, arguably as well, they're thinking, well, we got Mirage twice in the regular season. They will pick it, based on what's left. They won't pick Cash first, they'll pick this. So we might as well risk it. Yeah,
that's a good way of thinking about things, as Cray manages to put 2 to the Bunsen burner.
Yeah, I can't tell if they stood in that deliberately because of like what they're on. Like some people say that you should do that if you know they potentially have the SMGs, which they shouldn't.
Yeah.
You just sit in the molly, you give them $300 per kill instead of potential $600. But I think they tried putting it out just then with the smoke and it didn't work.
Which has failed.
Which you hate to see.
Kings just inevitably running out of options now.
I mean,
of course, this is an eco round anyway, but
yeah, they get a kill here and there. It just feels kind of they're up against it. Like the scoreline's just built up. Trials is yet to get killed in the game, and that's not a reconnect perk this time.
And I don't know what's more disheartening, to get hammered in game 1 and then go into a game 2, or to win game 1 and then just get absolutely battered in game 2, because that is just going to bring morale right back down for game 3. But I suppose if you're expecting it, if you know that Mirage is a bad map for you, you picked it for that reason you said, maybe you know your opponent is going to pick it anyway, so it's the kind of double fake. Then if you're in the mindset of we're probably going to lose here anyway, then it shouldn't affect you too much.
Yeah, back when I used to play, sometimes we used to do a situation where we knew they wouldn't expect us to pick this map, and they will 100% pick this one. So we'll do it in that order, just to test the WaR on this map, and they'll pick this map and we're prepared for that one.
Yep.
Obviously, it doesn't work quite well in this situation because it's not 2 structured teams that have been around for quite a while. But I do have the experience of having a situation where you win the first map really close, their pick, and then get beat 16-1 on yours. That happened on LAN. Horrible experience. But at the end of the day, you need to be ready. It's best of 3. It doesn't matter. This round looks a bit... Is that another A smokes?
I think so. Back to the draw. Almost sneezed. Sorry, I kind of cut myself off midway. Because if I'd gone back to the drawing, then I think that probably would have upset everyone listening. Meanwhile, Kings have managed to get onto site, but Wind and Rain have the numbers at the moment. Charles gets 1, but it's not enough because Whisker's just left without a hope in hell.
Yeah, personally, really not a fan of the A smokes being used. Like, you're against a team who I've been playing against top caliber European opposition, and those teams won't have been doing A smokes in the same way that other squads and matchmakers do. They'll be doing a variation of it where they don't smoke this bit and do special flashes. They're prepared to play retake against anything that comes their way on A. And in that situation, then they had 1 guy die on the site, and it's like, okay, he got his kill, that's fine. We'll just retake it straight after that. And that's what they did. And are they going straight back to A smokes again?
It's not worked twice, boys.
They've got the plant down though on that second time. Are they going to redo it?
I know there's the expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but at the moment it is broke. Stop trying to fix it. But maybe it'll go right this time as Charles is going to burst out onto site. Does fall into sandwich here. As Cray has a really good angle, but unfortunately can't take down Lumby. Just down to 32 HP. Bomber's going to go down for Kings though once again, and now we're going to see the experience from Wind and Rain on how they retake.
All the grenades available. Like, Cray didn't really use many of his grenades, even when he was playing either.
Oh, this is a good position from Shaney though.
Only 2. He gets
really good stuff.
Really?
Maybe something that
Wind
and Rain weren't expecting there was Shaney in that position.
They're not going to expect Trials behind him, that's for sure.
Shaney still 1 HP in a dream. It's just Link left on his own, and Shaney pops out to finish him off. So, I guess third time is a charm.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a, I think they were kind of too much into the retake idea, I imagine, because 2 of them had their grenades out just then, and they weren't really anticipating there could be a guy close CT when you should always expect one there, just because, somebody will see the opening, they'll be like, I'll go close CT, can anybody flash me through? They don't have flashes, he'll just sit there, he's stuck.
Yep.
He has to make a play. Shaney made the perfect play, obviously, gets 3 kills. Oh, 8 more A smokes.
Yeah, back to, I mean... And this is the scenario we thought that Inferno was going to be right. We thought that maybe Kings were just going to run out of options, but Kings did really well on Inferno to kind of surprise Wind and Rain. And now Cray's going to be able to push through smoke and get really nice spray down onto both Whisk and Lumgy.
done perfectly to get 2, and then
Oh, okay, interesting.
that was some Neo stuff right there.
Yeah. Astro just looking away in time, saving his face from a AWP.
Yeah.
Back
Here's
to
the
normality.
completely different situation on the A-Smokes possibility.
Oh, okay. Decent work from Shiki. A lot of damage there.
Has the bomb, flash. Obviously, one player low. They both have AWPs.
Surely one of them swaps out the AWP, right?
Fry shouldn't have it, based on just the situation. If he gets caught out randomly here,
Yeah.
it's game over, essentially. I imagine he'll switch in a sec after he gets some info, but Shiki's got a game plan in his mind, and he's gone for it.
Yep.
Straight out, pumps the
Absolute
short.
Usain Bolt.
But where does he go in the post plant? So the predictable thing would be to go short, but holding L block is another situation. Oh, I didn't think he was going to go inside.
Is he going to go on top of shells? No, he's not going to go that far.
So Dante's is the bait. Usually you peek when you hear somebody closer. Perfect.
Really?
They played that 2v1 really well, but it's a bit questionable to have 2 AWPs.
Yeah, that was my worry, but at least it's worked out for Win and Rain.
Yeah.
And clearly they knew what they could do with that situation. If they weren't comfortable with 2 AWPs, you'd imagine one of them would have swapped it out.
And they get to keep the 2 AWPs into the next round as well, which... Where's that second AWP going to? That was Fry. Okay, he just dropped somebody. Okay, so I imagine mid and then B. Or was that B short that Fry plays? I'm not sure which. But the A-Smokes, again, this time it was the complete opposite. Like, they saw they were playing retake and they were like, okay, retake's not going to work because Shane just did that to us. Let's play aggressive. Get right in their faces and just fight. And it worked.
Speaking of aggression, once again down middle. And they've managed to find their way down middle quite successfully, actually.
Has the info
only
been
have
relayed to
pistols.
Cray, though? It hasn't.
Oh, Shane, he can't get the kill, unfortunately. Only tags him down to 58 HP, and now he's really going to struggle. And Cray
Yeah.
is able to redeem himself from not having the information earlier.
Yeah, you hate to see that one. It's just like back visibility. The head's not quite,
Yeah.
you know, it's not quite a head. It's just a bit of a bump. Not as much of a
You can just see it.
singled out unit.
Oh, some goggles.
Yeah.
Nothing you can connect a bullet with, unfortunately, and Kings are going to go down 10-2 here now.
The anti has been perfectly fine from Win and Rain so far.
Yeah.
Even the rounds that they lost were like, you know, you felt like Win and Rain could have probably won those runs in most situations. Like 7, maybe 8 out of 10 times in that retake round, they probably do win. One of them checks close, and Trini doesn't kill 3 of them. Like, that's something that wouldn't happen usually.
And the thing is, if Kings are trying it time after time, there's these quick pushes, all these A smokes that they're used to, one of them's going to work eventually. One of them did work, but then you just go back to normality straight away because they tried exactly the same thing. And sometimes that is a trap you don't want to fall into, of repeating something that's just worked, because then it opens up the opportunity for your opponent to do something different to answer it.
So I saw Cray's score just then. He's triple 10 right now. 10 kills, 10 assists, 10 death. And now they've just done complete opposite. Kings have thought, he played close last round, we're going to go through without even splashing it. And obviously catches them off guard. And they have the site again. However, nades still available on the CT side. But it's different. This is different. They've got jungle control, they've got top connector control. This retake's not the same as the other one.
Yeah, Fry's been doing work with the AWP. It's now a 4 versus 3 advantage, but
Astro needs to speed up on this T-spawn.
yeah, we've got decent positioning from Kings, as long as they don't get surprised by Astro.
Yeah, so molly out firebuffs, they can guarantee nobody's there. Link will get caught off on the side of the head here, 100%.
Oh!
Line them up. And then Astro's. I feel like it was always going to be too late when he was coming in here. Like, he'll get that kill, but all for nothing, really.
But sometimes, I mean, was he just walking? It's probably just walking there
He
just
walked
to try
away
and make
just
an noise,
assuming
right?
it's a ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just... With how his teammates were being pushed back, they should have relayed that information to him that there's more than likely 2 people close jungle right now. And then probably 1 site. Well, Link would have called site. And then, you know, there's a mystery situation where he should probably try and take the initiative. But, you know, it's just one of those things. They'll look back at it, they'll be able to improve upon that anyway.
We can see what Kings can do with an AWP on their side.
Yeah.
He's going to hold this bad boy. We've seen him do some good work with it.
Reliant on A here, aren't they? We haven't seen the B site for quite a while.
Yeah,
So he's going to walk out past the contact.
I haven't...
He'll die though.
Oh, he should do. Yep, Cray gets the first.
This ramp push is crucial.
Yeah, Charles at least takes
Astro needs
down
to get
Dances, but... It's a good push from Kings.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to them. Even though they keep going A, at least they're doing something a little bit different now.
Yeah, they're adapting to how WinRain are holding A, is the main thing.
Yeah.
Like, Quay's been getting a kill pretty much every time he's gone there. Or every time he's been holding it. But at this stage, the second player on A hasn't been doing quite enough of his share. So it's been working in Kings' favour.
Link just going to save his M4 after finding the one frag.
Yeah. Money's not too great on that side
Yeah.
last round. He'll probably be able to drop an M4, I imagine. I think it's, what, 2400 bonus? He got a kill, so he's on at least 2700. Oh, he's on 1050 in fact, so he can drop an M4 and get a smoke for himself.
But if this can go to 10-5, I mean, it's not the end of the world for Kings.
No, no.
Certainly, I mean, their T side hasn't looked phenomenal, but maybe their CT side is a little bit stronger. Maybe Wind and Rain run out of ideas. I'd like to think that's not the case, because Wind and Rain should be more practice and should have more tricks up their sleeves, considering the tier that they are in terms of who they get to play against.
Thing is, I feel like the first half score when I commented in the first week, it was 11-4 to Wind and Rain, going on to the CT side, and the T side they just swept them pretty much.
Pistol's obviously going to be big.
Yeah, the pistol will be massive, just on pure fact of momentum and then just sheer confidence in possibly even winning. If Kings take it, they'll be thinking we can do this, but Wind and Rain take it, I think that's the map over.
A more defensive approach from Shaney this time. He doesn't want to get caught out by Cray once again.
Yeah. So this is the first time that Wind and Rain have actually been using their smoke system quite early, and then they were never using anything till the Palace earlier on.
It's also the first round that Wind and Rain have been strapped for cash, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They've had money pretty much every round since the pistol.
And they finally decided to pair somebody up with Cray on it. So he's been getting the one kill each time, but he's always had that. Like, he's been very close to getting second. Just been quite unfortunate. Essentially a repeat of last round here. Is Cray going to get the kill on Shaney again?
Yes, he does.
And they burst up ramp, and will Astro get one? I think he gets one on the side of the head for free.
Astro with the UMP.
No.
Yeah, he does find one, but Lumji responds. 3 versus 3 now as Whisk take down Dancy, but Link gets one onto Shiki, so it's 2 versus 3. They're on site, but the bomb is in an awful position.
1v3.
Nice spray down.
He knows one pass, so he knows the other guy's CT.
And he's just going to run off with this bomb as well. Or at least I thought he was. Ah, perfect
Good
flash.
flash, but did Cray... Yeah, he did see it.
Cray got...
Whoa.
I should finish this, but he doesn't.
19 HP versus 41. Was it 1v3?
Was a 1v3.
No kit on the CT side either.
I spoke a lot about Lumji before this series started. I said he's always been that surprise factor for me in Premierships. And he's got a chance now to make it 10-5, which would at least be a somewhat good score, especially if you consider how damaging the start of this map was from Wind and Rain. And Lumji does get it as well. Clutches the 1v3. We go 10-5. And I guess the big question to you, Ezio, is how do you feel about King's CT side?
When I watched it last time, it was pretty abysmal on the CT side.
But what was so abysmal about it? What went wrong for them?
It was just the sheer... So, obviously you're going to have Shaney in mid-window for this, I imagine, because he's the author. And when I watched Wind and Rain against them last time, they basically took mid-control and abused the heck out of the possibility of spreading them thin and then splitting the sides. Like, so it was specifically A in that matchup. In fact, it was Lumji getting spread thin. He had too many angles to look at, and they just got ran over. If the same happens this time, I don't see a chance for them to do anything, but the pistol is huge.
Yeah, we really need to see Kings take this pistol round. They have got pistol rounds previously in the previous map, so we know they're capable of doing so. But if they do fall to this pistol, then I feel we're going to be looking at a third map. That would be Cash. Maybe that would be the chance for Wind and Rain to really take control and use their superior kind of knowledge and tier in this game to be able to win out the series. A series that's probably been closer than it should have been, certainly statistically wise, but maybe Kings would argue that. Maybe Kings would say, actually, no, we've got a better chance up against Wind and Rain than you think.
Looks like it's going to be a heavy B. So Astro dropped the P250 for Fry. He's got double flash over. They're just rushing straight in. But Trials has been boosted. How many people will he get, if any?
Depends whether they check it. It's fluffed it a little bit, but does still manage to find the frag, so that's good.
Thought he was going to get the flick then.
Yeah, if he was able to get 2, then potentially this was round winning, but...
That P250's done really well for the drop. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. Whisk got absolutely demolished at the back of site when they came in. Like, he boosted him up and he was like, oh god, I need to run back, and then just completely walloped.
And sometimes if you do commit to boosting someone else, you do get caught out of position.
Yeah. It was just quite brutal, really. You got absolutely destroyed. That is the pistol going to Wind and Rain, though. So
50 Shades of Whisk. That'd be a good book. I'd read it. There you go. There's a selling point for you, Whisk. As your next entrepreneur move. But this one's just going to play itself out. Unfortunately, he's just trying to find any more exit frags. But he doesn't want to die here, but the jump through the window from Astro.
Smoke.
You'd imagine that this might be the nail in the coffin now for this map. Just the pistol round from Wind and Range should be enough, theoretically.
Yeah. I suppose the big thing is, do Kings force into it? So Shiki's initiated the force in. The Eagle Armor. Obviously, because they're not as much of a structured team, there won't be like a setup, you know, we play this against teams when they're anti-eco.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is going to be a complete mid-takeover as soon as they're ready.
Shaney hopes for something with the Deagle, can't find anything, so just spamming shots.
Kray's got the Kree go. No head armor on that.
Mid has been successfully taken by Wind and Rain now, because unfortunately the Deagle shots weren't landed by Shaney.
What is kind of annoying though, they've got 4 rifles, right? So Wind and Rain won the round, they got 4 rifles. They had like no nades just then. So Shaney was stuck on the right side of window just then. He could have been mollied out, could have been naded, anything like that. But they just had nothing. They've only got 2 flashes now, even. So if whenever they dedicate to a site, so it looks like they're dedicating B, if they're coming in, there can be issues. They've literally got the 2 flashes. Dancy's will flash over once, and that's 1 flash gone. And he's had the info the whole time, the whole way.
So maybe Wind and Rain were just a little bit concerned that Kings were going to force up, and because of the situation they're in, that they wanted just a stronger rifle round.
The thing is, you need to have people on SMGs to do the scouting. They need to be able to, like, obviously Mach 10s are the big thing we saw on Inferno. You'll be able to run around, you'll be able to send them in first.
Oh, GS3! Thanks to a helping hand from Fright.
Dancy saw him cross. If he gets the kill on Dancy's and pushing back. No. 20 seconds.
20 seconds, he's got to go back to the bomb. Charles is in a good position as well here.
I think it's the same running time to A and B right now because of where that bomb is.
Yep. But it depends how much time.
How much noise is Dancy's making jumping. No armor.
Oh, he's going for the kill, and the big commitment to all the rifles goes down the drain. The Wind and Drain.
That's a clear case of just lining them up with the CZ right there. But I was just like, there's the nades again. Like that's obviously you can look at it all day long, and then after the game they'll see it and they'll realize we shouldn't have had that many people with rifles. We need grenades to do stuff. Like they took mid just then, and then didn't do anything. They left mid completely empty. Didn't even leave 1 person there. Normally you'd have like a Mach 10 stay there and he'll just control it.
And they were all shooting each other as well. That was why Lumji was able to find that many kills at the CZ, because they were all trying to shoot him at the same time. They peaked the same angle.
Yeah.
Kings need to be careful though. They don't want to give away this round now, because it's a fantastic opportunity for them to get back into the game. Knowing full well there are just Deagles they're going up against, because they've heard them all being fired now.
The gap. If it was just a smidge into the left, he'd be able to peek a bit further.
And he tries it anyway. But he was just firing blind into tiny bits of smoke. Wind and Rain have managed to... Well, Kings, sorry, have done well to slow this one down, because it was quite a fast-paced start to the round, and Kings did respond quickly too. But after the trades, they've just slowed it right down, and he turns around into the wrong
running
moment.
Away. Interesting, I guess.
It's one of those...
Files has got good info, but I'm pretty sure Fry saw him.
It's one of those scenarios where you just second-guess yourself. You think you've got time to get away, but half the time you don't in Counter-Strike. Shiki takes down Fry, 3 versus 3.
This round's all on Whisk. They all had ammo is the issue.
50 Shades of Whisk, part 2.
Nobody covering CT, and he's planted that side. Questionable.
That's your catchphrase of the day, isn't it? Questionable?
Yeah, it's the best way of...
It's a way to be nice about plays that are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Whisk, you said he was the important factor. He's found another one onto Astra. It's just Cray left alone. Oh, decent deagle shot. But yeah, he's running out of time. He needs to actually just try and kill Whisk.
He needs to
here.
get that gun that Astra had. I don't think he's ever chasing. Has he not got the gun either? No. At least then he would have been in some use next round. Like he would have FAMAS, deagle, and he could get 2 grenades if he wanted to. He could give the deagle to someone else, in fact.
I'm more fascinated by some of these player pictures. It always worries me whenever there's a CSGO broadcast. I'm always scared about player pictures because I've been in matchmaking before. I know the horrible things that are possible to put as your.
Yeah,
I mean, you can put anything, can't you? Huh?
The anime pictures. You have to be afraid of those kind of matchmaking. They're incredible players.
Dancy's taking an aggressive stance in underpants. Underpants?
Underpants.
That would be a very aggressive stance. Never go into somebody's underpants aggressively. Would not recommend.
KiNgs have been given a chance into this game, which Win Rain will be really hating themselves about. So we're looking at what, 11-8. Assume a buy round from Win Rain, which won't be that great. Like unless they get a plant here, it'll be a pretty weak buy round. And overall, they were a bit shoddy on that intake round and everything.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think they've got more in the bag.
You'd think
they must
so.
have more.
And I'd like to think they won't fall apart as well at the first sign of dismay. I mean, you know them better than I do.
Yeah.
Are Win and Rain the type of team to fall apart at the sign of the first sign of any sort of thing going wrong?
I feel like Neilzino wouldn't let them. Like
No.
he's in the coaching position. He'll be able to recognise when a team is sort of like there's certain hints where you can see when a player's angry. Like you'll hear just like their mic, they'll like, God damn, and then they pause.
This is an interesting point then. So it's very different across multiple games, and you can clear this up for me and probably some viewers as well, but maybe not. What is a coach's? How does a coach kind of help online? Are they allowed to watch at the same time?
Yeah, they're basically it's on the old iterations of the game. It was called dead specking, where you'd basically have the player be on the team, but they'd be constantly dead. They don't respawn or anything, so they'd be able to live watch it at the same time. And obviously, online you're able to give the same input as any player would. So some teams had in-game leaders be coaches because they have a better overview technically. But obviously in LANs and stuff, they've got different rule sets where you're only allowed to sort of freeze time, doing pauses, that sort of stuff. But online it's completely different. Which means in a game like this, Neilzino would be able to have a lot of input off the game. He's been watching an overview, he's seen everybody, he can see the errors being made across all 5 point of views. Usually it's helping the in-game leader most. Though, like he'll be calling something and then it'll go wrong, he'll be like, what happened?
Yeah, you just got that second person to look to.
It's the 6th pair of eyes in the whole game, essentially, as well. They might notice a setup, which none of your players have called.
It's really interesting. As Trials does manage to get one.
Whisk checks below here.
Whisk and Trials, I mean, they can go for it, as Whisk does get the turn onto Fry. 2 versus 3.
Kits, lots of grenades.
Grenades to work with.
2 smokes.
One more. Oh,
There's an easy lineup on that spray, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you're in CT, there's a window that you can line up with on that default plant and just spray perfectly in line with it.
12-8, Wind and Rain do turn around and respond to the several rounds put together by KiNg, so that's important. And as you said, maybe it helps having a coach behind them. Probably not physically. I'm sure he's probably on a computer as well.
Yeah.
Unless they have a gaming house I don't know about. That's what the cool kids do nowadays.
It's a very weak buy from KiNgs, because obviously they ecoed them, and then I think they had 5 alive on that eco end, wasn't it? Yeah, they did have 5 alive, so they must have spent a lot of money on grenades in that case. So they're planning to do jungle and stair smoke, not the full A smokes. Well, they were. Bail on that idea. Completely abandon that.
And I mean, that is just a sudden change of plan, isn't
it?
That wasn't even a fake. That was literally just, oh, we're going to do here. Actually, no, change your mind. Let's go this way.
They might have recognised how many grenades are being used at A, based on the CTs just then. That's a very good opening kill, though. Bit greedy to hold again, but I don't think he saw Dancy's cross. But with those grenades, he should know. Yeah, it falls back. He'll probably hold the Dalpan angle. If not, go back all the way.
I've got to say, I've been impressed with both Shaney and Dancy's AWPing this game, but on both maps.
The main ability is like the UK's got the talent in terms of like pure aiming and stuff like that. It's just being in the right place, like being able to help your teammates, that sort of thing, which usually people lack with UK wise. Mainly being in the right place as an AWPer, obviously. When you should peek, when you shouldn't, when you should go for a pick, when you shouldn't.
Dancy's takes down Charles. It's a 2
Somehow
versus 2.
2v2.
Yeah.
Feels like it had no right to be. There's no kit available for the CTs.
Dancy's only on 13 HP, but he's tagged down Lungy to just 48. Lungy falls to Fry as well, but now look how weak Dances and Fry are, but it was just an AWP. 13-8 now.
That's a horrible round to lose.
Yeah, really bad, especially if you consider the opening pick that they had.
Yeah, 2v4, and you feel like, you know, Whisk gets that, well, it's 5v3. Whisk gets a kill while in a molly. You're thinking, perfect, he's done his job, he got the one. And somehow it all falls apart.
And I mean, just going back to what you're talking about the UK talent, and they have the skill, but I feel like the big problem for UKCSGO is that we just haven't found the right mixtures of players together.
That's always been the thought.
Because everyone just keeps chopping and changing.
Oh yeah,
people don't stick enough.
Like but the thing is, we've had a few iterations of teams that are considered to be the right mix.
Yep.
And then they end up doing next to nothing, or they...
But then I bet they disbanded after doing next to nothing after one event, right?
Yeah, most of the time they'll stop, or they'll lose motivation, I suppose, or...
And it's not
they'll
just...
feel like that it's not justified to try and do it.
To keep trying because it's gone so badly. It's not just Counter-Strike though, I've seen it across
it happens
lots
in
of
every
UK esports.
Because obviously it's not just a CS exclusive thing. Like it happens in other games as well. It's just people like highlighting the UK CS one because
it's a meme.
Yeah.
As long as you can't find a kill with his pistol, but he made a good effort being able to
might be able to get 2 or 3 kills here.
Yeah, Trousers in a good spot. If he can get the headshot onto one, but he can't.
3 of them are so low.
Now, unfortunately, all 5 stay alive.
Clean round from Window based on just surviving.
And we're
edging weak by though.
Edging closer to map number 3.
So one positive, they have exceeded the amount of CT total rounds they got in the previous 2 Mirage matchups.
Yep.
There is light.
I mean, if Kings can go on, and if they could take map number 3, if they lose this one, then at least it's something else they can watch back and they can go over to try and improve on. Because you need to be good on every map. You can't have your weak maps, really. Of course, there is a banning process, but like you said earlier, you play to your strengths rather than necessarily to your opponent's weaknesses. Yeah,
it's not unless you're a structured team with, you know, say you're confident on 4 of the 7 maps, where you're guaranteed to have one of them always if it's best of one. You're 100% having one of them. You could then play to a team's weaknesses because obviously you can single them out and be like, they're really bad at this, they're really bad at this. We'll try and get on those, which doesn't happen often enough, really. 4v4, there's next to no grenades on the CT side, and they don't really have much control of the map either. Like, they're playing one CT, Shiki's playing from CT because he's very low, and Whisk is playing Firebox again, which he played about 3 rounds ago, I believe, in that 5v3. So that seems to be somewhere that he feels comfortable.
Yeah, he did well there as well.
Yeah, he got the kill that was needed, just his team didn't pull their weight, I suppose.
But you'd think with the grenades available for Wind and Rain, they should be able to get onto a site comfortably here.
Yeah, the key part is where does Link use his flashes, because it's going to be a 2-2 through apps. And he's missed that.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Oh. Look at the time as well, 20 seconds. He would have landed that smoke in the apps with 26 left. It would have stayed there till 10. And now that smoke works as a weird wall for the short points by now.
He's managed to get one down in the other weak.
Lumji
so close there. 2 guys on 10 HP now. One does go down in time.
He's gone for the man play. Jeez. No kit, 1v1. Astro knows where he is, but Whisk also knows where Astro is.
Whisk should win this round, really.
Astro's...
Oh!
Astro played it so confidently.
Yeah.
He was just like straight up looking for the fight, which you wouldn't expect. Like, that's one of the situations where you're thinking, like, why has he done that? But Astro's got 25 kills, he's feeling it.
Yeah, you've got your confidence. You know you've got this map in the bag now.
Mm-hmm.
And they are just 1 round away from taking this to all the way to the best of 3. I was certainly expecting this to be a little bit of a walkover, so Kings have impressed me, but this map has gone the way it should have done. Certainly in our eyes, maybe not in King's eyes considering it was their map choice, but we've already discussed why they might have chosen it. 4 Famises, 1 CZ to try and bring anything back, try and take it to overtime. Could they do it? Probably not.
It's a long hill to climb.
It is.
Like, the main issue really is, like, so those first, 10 rounds with it? It was like 8-1, 8-2, 9-1, like that. And we didn't see any sort of pause or anything like that because Kings were like adamant that they had something, that they'd seen something on A. And they just kept on going at it, kept on trying to hit through and break through. Obviously, 10-5 it was at the half, which means it wasn't, they recovered. It's just that slow start has come back to bite them.
Yeah.
They have
mean,
a heavy deficit.
It's all well and good keeping, like, just hitting the same spot time after time if you're going to get one, but if you're going to lose like 6 or 7 in the meantime, then you're not going to win a game doing that. A round is not worth it.
Somehow Dancy's picked up 2 kills at mid, lurking. Make that 3. That has
Indeed.
to be the game. No way does Trials win this. No kit, no grenades.
1 vs 4, just a FAMAS as well. I mean, he's going to struggle here. We've seen some decent work from Trials over the past 2 maps, but this is not going to be his finest hour, I'm sure.
He's got a kit to work with.
Yeah.
However, there's players all over the shop right now. KiNg needs to make a move. He's spending way too much time walking around. Bomb time is down to at least about 25 right now. Dancy's holding perfectly on it. That's 1.
There's 1, but now his position is given away, so everyone can now just hold an angle for him. Flash comes out. Somehow stays alive, but Gray takes him down, and there we go. 1-1 then. Wind and Rain looked a lot more comfortable on Mirage, but we knew that could have been the case, and it was the case indeed. Unfortunately for Kings, they just didn't really have those options on the T side.